Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Ritu and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today's video is very different and very special to me because I love watching K-dramas, and I started watching K-dramas in 2019 or 2020 I guess, during COVID. So till now I have watched almost 80 to 85 K-dramas. I know because I write them down, I write everything, like every K-drama I've watched. I'm finally here with my top 20 favorite K-dramas and it was so tough because top 20 भी करना बहुत मुश्किल हो गया था because बहुत सारे K-dramas है जो मेरे बहुत favorite हैं. And also these top 20s are not in any order. They are kind of in order but they are not also, because different genres को एक order में रखना, it's not fair, and most of these are highly underrated. I have not seen anybody talk about them and I am here to talk about them, and some of them are quite famous. And also I'm going to let you know the kind of genre I enjoy watching so that you don't have to watch the whole video. So I enjoy watching crime and action related shows. I love watching fantasy shows, but K-dramas, like fantasy K-dramas, are something else and they're just so good. And I love watching slice of life dramas because they are just so calming. I just enjoy the cinematography and their acting and just the normal storyline. And if you are into those kind of genres, then keep on watching, and I hope you find something that you were looking for. And yeah, I'm really excited to talk about that. And also get your snacks, get your coffee, because this one is going to be a long video. Also, I'm going to talk about my favorite K-dramas while I am doing my makeup, so it's not boring or anything. So let's just get ready with me and talk about K-dramas. First K-drama on number 20th is The Tale of Nogdu. The Tale of Nogdu is about a man, Jang Dong-yoon, who disguises himself as a woman to live among a community of women in order to solve a mystery about his past. He falls for a hot-tempered woman who is reluctantly training to be a giseng. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, so forgive me. While seeking revenge on the king. This show is very light-hearted, funny, and it's a nice romantic show, and it's really underrated because I have not seen anybody talk about it, and I quite enjoyed it a lot. And also the actor, I fell in love with the actor, and like he's so pretty and like he looked so pretty. I enjoyed their chemistry, I enjoyed their kissing scenes. Their kissing scenes were not awkward, and like I don't know how to explain it. They were not awkward as they are in most K-dramas. If you're into nice romantic light-hearted show, then give it a watch. It's on Netflix, I believe. I watched it on Netflix. I don't know if it's there anymore, but I hope it's there and I hope you get to watch it. And also let me know if you enjoyed watching it, because I enjoyed watching it a lot. So on number 19th, I have My Roommate is a Gumiho, and yeah, it is based on an original webtoon. It tells the story of a male Gumiho who has lived for hundreds of years to become a human being that has his fox beads taken away by a female college student in an accident. So they live together in his house to solve this problem. And this drama is hilarious, guys. It's so funny and it's so underrated. Like I have not seen, maybe because it's not on Netflix. I watched it as soon as it came out because I'm a huge fan of Harry and I love her acting. Like her acting is so natural and so funny and so real. So that's why I just watched it. I really enjoyed watching it, and yeah, that's all I have to say about it. So on the 18th number is Dali and Cocky Prince. This show is also very underrated. I don't know why. It's on Netflix, but I don't know why I don't see many people talk about it, because it's hilarious, it's funny, the characters are good, the actors are really good, and I just don't know. the reason. The Alien Cocky Prince is about the unlikely romance between a resourceful businessman, Kim Min-jae, who lacks education, and the elite director of an art museum who recently lost everything. So yeah, and he's very protective of her. He is nice, he treats her nicely, and I just enjoyed watching this show a lot. I laughed a lot because of this guy, because he's so good and his character was so funny. If you are into a romance comedy kind of show, then give it a try and let me know what you think. So on 17th number, this is I think this is quite a famous show, I would say, because it's not underrated at all. So this is Our Beloved Summer, and I loved watching this show. Kook Hyun-soo, Kim Dami, the top student in her high school class, and Choi-young, the lowest ranked student, shoot a documentary that goes viral 10 years after its release. Unknown to the public, the pair dated for 5 years after the documentary and had a bad breakup. Now their paths cross again and they are forced to work together for a follow-up documentary to be shot by their producer friend Ji-young. As with their first collaboration, chaos ensues. So obviously it's kind of like enemies to lovers, because you know they had a breakup and they kind of hate each other. So it's a nice refreshing show and I enjoyed watching it. I loved watching Choi Woo-shik. His character was quite goofy and funny, and I enjoyed watching this show a lot. I don't know what else to say. The chemistry was so good, the girl was so cute, and like they complemented each other very well. So on number 16th, I have one of my favorite shows that I recently watched. It's called Crazy Love. This one is also like, I believe, underrated, because I think जितना hype इसको मिलना चाहिए था उतना मिला नहीं, maybe because of the actors, because the actors are not that famous maybe. But I love both the actors. I watched this show because of the male lead. Forgot his name, so forgive me, I'm very bad with names. I loved watching him in Her Private Life, and that's when I became his fan. So that's why I watched it, and it just recently came out. I believe it's on Hotstar Disney. Crazy Love bestows a story of a romance between two people who have opposing personalities. From the pit of hatred, love blossoms despite their differences. Being famous as a mathematics instructor, No Go-jin is very rude to his employees. Meanwhile, Lee Shin-ah is working as his secretary for a year and is extremely introverted. And I've watched so many like romantic comedy, proper K-dramas, but this one was so hilarious, and I enjoyed watching the actress. She's so funny and her acting was also very natural and very real. No Go-jin though, obviously, he's so handsome. It deserves to be famous. So here I am talking about it. So I hope you watch it. Number 15. Oh my god, this show guys, so good. It's called Taxi Driver. A graduate whose mother was murdered when he was young. Since he could not take revenge on the man who murdered his mother, he now works as a taxi driver for a company which offers a revenge call service to its clients who have been wronged and helps them to take revenge. So this is a crime thriller action show and it is quite famous, I would say, but not that famous, but it is famous, and season 2 just came out. I didn't watch it, but I would like to watch it as soon as possible. Every episode has a different case, I believe, 1 or 2 episodes, but there's this storyline that they follow. The lead actor, he's just so good, he's so handsome, he's acting, and this actor is so underrated for some reason. So yeah, I enjoyed watching him. I enjoyed the whole story, the plot, the cases that they covered. I just finished it in 2 days, I believe. So yeah, I enjoyed watching it. On number 14, it is The Good Bad Mother. It recently came out on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it, please watch it because it's so good. A pig farmer and a single mother brought up her son harshly so he could live a better life. He grows up to be a successful prosecutor but is cold-hearted and their relationship suffers. After an accident brings him back to his childhood home, the two are given a chance to repair their relationship. So this show, I didn't watch any trailers or anything before starting this show, but I just had to watch it because of Lee Do-hyun, because Lee Do-hyun is one of my top favorite actors. This show talks about mother-son relationship. It will make you hate the mother sometimes, but it will also make you love her and see her side of things, like what she went through and why she was the way she was. Yeah, it doesn't make it right, but you know, their relationship was pretty complicated, but it was really emotional to watch it because she genuinely loved him. She didn't hate him. I loved his acting and I think he deserves an award for, you know, his acting in this show. Actress who played his mother, her acting was also phenomenal. Like, I just loved watching this show. This show was wholesome, cute, emotional. I just enjoyed watching this show. On number 13, I have this another fantasy K-drama, Tale of Nine-Tailed. Season 2 just came out. मैंने इसको इस लिस्ट में डाला ही Season 2 की वजह से. Leon was once the mountain guardian spirit, nine-tailed fox. During many centuries, he lives his life in human form in search for the reincarnation of his lost first love, and this show was really good. I don't remember much about season first because बहुत पहले देखा था मैंने, but I'm gonna talk about season 2. So season 2 was really good, emotional, entertaining. Masala. It gave me everything. Everything was there. Action, romance, brotherhood. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Comedy. Season 2 की comedy. Wow, I enjoyed watching it so much, and I highly recommend, if you are into fantasy shows, then please watch Tale of Nine-Tailed Fox. Okay, so on number 12th, I have this show that made me fall in love with Lee Do-hyun. It's called Youth of May. This show, it broke my heart into pieces. Although I knew what the ending was, it still broke my heart. In May 1980, during the turbulent times of Gwangju uprising, Hee-tae and Myung-hee fall in love. Their love seems destined by fate. Hee-tae is a medical student and who entered medical school at the top of his class. Myung-hee has worked as a nurse for past 3 years. She's a lovely person who stands up against what is not fair. So a strong female lead, and we love a strong female lead. The ending is gonna break your heart for sure, but like, it is kind of worth it because the story and the scenes and the first half where they fall in love and they start liking each other and getting to know each other, that phase was so good and so nice. Please watch it. On number 11 is the show that is Slice of Life. It's this show called Reply 1988 and it was quite famous. Reply 1988 divides its focus between the teens and their parents. The drama showcases their teenage struggle to overcome issues every teen can relate to and how they grow through everything they go through. The drama is about how they grew up together and became successful in their own life. Okay, so it's about these five teenagers who live in a same area and they are neighbors and their parents know each other very well. Like, they are all like a big family, and it's just so wholesome and so, I don't know how to explain it. It's just so perfect. The show was very nicely put together and everybody, I loved watching everybody, and acting wise, phenomenal. I just loved how healing and comforting this show was to me. Like, it reminded me of the days where I was just little kid and there were no phones and anything, and we used to play outside and it was just wholesome and nice. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. So these are my top 10 now. I'm going to talk about like all 20 were my favorite, but top 10 are like here, okay? So on number 10 is the drama that I watched. Is the first drama I watched actually. This is the first drama I ever watched when I started watching K-dramas. It's Goblin. Can you even say that you are a K-drama fan if you haven't watched Goblin? Because it's iconic. I had to put this in this list because it is one of the first K-dramas that I watched. I really enjoyed watching it. It's perfect. The storyline and everything is just perfect. So it is about Kim Shin is faced with death instead of honor. After fighting a mighty battle, God turns Kim Shin into a goblin instead, tasked with protecting certain people from the life of misery. But immortality is wearing on Kim Shin and he longs to find the human bride who can set his soul free. So this is also a fantasy show and Goblin और Grim Reaper का जो bromance था bro, मैंने उससे better bromance किसी भी show में नहीं देखा है. This show was here. Also the chemistry was everything, although the age gap is like too much of the main lead, but main couple, but I just enjoyed watching them a lot. I don't know what else to say. And Gongyo is beautiful. Like when I was watching the show, I was just mesmerized is the word I would say, because I was just looking at him like, but yeah, I loved watching it. And number 9 is another show that I watched when I started watching K-dramas. It's called Vincenzo. I have watched a lot of K-dramas after Vincenzo, but like Vincenzo का जो level था ना, I don't think वो कोई show कभी cross कर पाएगा. मैं किसी से भी मिलती हूँ ना, first show if I ever recommend them is Vincenzo, because his acting, everybody's acting was good, but Song Joong Ki's acting was on another level. Like he has a baby face, so like I just couldn't imagine him to play a character that is a mafia, like it's a gangster. But he played it so well, and like he looked scary in some of the scenes. He looked like he was actually in fact a mafia, and I just was so amazed by his acting. I was like, how can he do that? He's one of the top actors for a reason, and like I just enjoyed watching it. I love the comedy. The plot twist was really shocking because I didn't expect that. I loved everything like about this show. Everything was so good. I loved watching. On number 8 is the show that I think ये सबने देखा है, but I'm still gonna talk about it because it deserves to be talked about. So yeah, this show I think everybody should watch it, even if you're into K-dramas or not. But this show is like a must watch. So this is The Glory. The Glory follows a woman who takes up the position of a homeroom teacher as a part of an elaborated revenge scheme to get back at a set of people who made high school a hellscape for her. I really enjoyed watching this show. Song Hye Kyo's acting and also Lee Do Hyun. I am so happy that he got the hype that he deserved, because when I watched him earlier in Youth of May and 18 Again, he was famous, but he was not that famous. So I just wanted him to get the recognition that he deserves, because his acting is amazing, and like I don't know, I just love him. It is a revenge drama and it is about high school bullying. The acting was good, the storyline was perfect, and I loved that everybody got what they deserved at the end. Like the ending was so perfect. Just every character, every single छोटे से छोटा character भी, everybody got what they deserve, and I loved it. Okay, so next drama is All of Us Are Dead. It's a zombie show. All of Us Are Dead is a zombie horror series that revolves around a district in South Korea that is plagued by a deadly virus that turns all the infected into mindless monsters, and the high school that serves a ground zero of this pandemic. I have seen a lot of zombie or alien or monster related Korean shows, but this one topped the list for me. And like also there was this character, like I don't think he deserved it. What happened to him, like that made me so furious. I was at the edge of my seat during this whole show because it was just amazing, so good. Season 2 is coming, so if you haven't watched it, then go watch it. Number 6, it is called Something in the Rain. It is about Yunjina, is a single woman in her 30s. She works as a supervisor at a coffee company. Yunjina is an easygoing person, but she feels empty inside. So Junhye is the younger brother of her best friend. He comes back in South Korea after finishing work abroad. Yunjina thought he was just a childish guy, but he appears different to her now and they fall in love. I really enjoyed watching this show. Maybe because I could relate to the main lead. A lot of things that she used to do I could relate to. This is the show that made me feel literal butterflies in my stomach. Like the scenes were so realistic and like the romance was so realistic and not forced, or like it didn't seem like I was watching a show, like I was watching a documentary of a couple that fell in love. Also acting, dono actors ki acting is amazing, so give it a try. If you are into slice of life shows, then give it a try. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about my top 5. These are my absolute favorites, and like all of them are so dear to me for different reasons, but I enjoyed watching them so much, like you have no idea. And all of them are different genres, so if you have different tastes, then everybody is gonna get at least one favorite. On 5th number, I have Hometown Cha Cha Cha. A professional woman leaves her dental practice in Seoul and moves to a seaside village. There she meets a local resident who is unemployed but seems to do everything around town, from helping those in need to being a part of everyone's life. The two become interested in each other despite their differences. So it's kind of like enemies to lover, but also not, because they were interested in each other since they first saw each other. I really enjoyed watching it. It's healing, it's calming, it's fun, it's light-hearted, and it's just a breath of fresh air. And I just love watching both of them together and how they would perfectly fit each other so perfectly, and like how they loved each other despite their differences and everything. I enjoyed watching them a lot. Okay, so number 4 is the show that is really dear to me. It is 18 Again. A 37-year-old man on the verge of being divorced from his wife suddenly finds himself inside his 18-year-old body. He starts living a new life under a new name to get closer to his children, protect them. He's 18 again, but like he still misses his family and he wants to take care of them, and he's worried about them, his kids. So he just goes and talks to them, being a younger guy and like being their age. So he also learns a lot about their struggles as kids. It's emotional, it's wholesome. It's not emotional in a sad way, but it's emotional in a, like we don't know what our parents have been through when they were young and we were little. I loved Lee Do Hyun's acting. Every actor in the show was really good. It's comedy, obviously, because he turns 18, so obviously he treats his children as his own, so he gets frustrated sometimes, and it's so funny to watch. But I just loved watching the show a lot because of so many reasons. Okay, so on number 3 is a action-based show. It's called Weak Hero Class 1. I watched it this year only. So Weak Hero Class 1 is an action drama based on a popular webtoon named Weak Hero. The plot revolves around Yeon Shiun. Park Ji-hoon is the actor, a model student who always comes on top of his school but is physically frail. Despite being outmatched physically, he fights back against arrogant bullies with all the wits he can muster. Although the drama's action sequences were a major selling point, there is much more to it than that. The show was so good. The lead actor, I am in love with him because like his acting he impressed me so much, because his acting was like here, like he deserves everything. He also recently got an award for his role in this show, so I just loved watching their friendship, and like I was so emotionally attached to them because like I cried a lot at the end. The action scene was so good, and like there was not one episode where it got boring. I finished this show in one day, I guess, and it only has 8 episodes, so it was easy. But yeah, I just loved this show a lot. Okay, so it's called When the Weather is Fine. After a series of unfortunate events, cellist Mokyeon quits her job in Seoul and goes back to Bukyeon village, where she briefly lived when she was in high school. There she meets again her former classmate and neighbor Imonso, who owns a bookstore now, and they fall in love. Number 2 is, like, I recently watched it again because it is one of my top. It's obviously in top 2, but it is like, I really love the show, and the cinematography and the acting. It's a slice of life genre, so it's very slow. If you are not into slow shows, then I don't know if you'll like it. The cinematography is amazing. The show is so beautifully filmed, and the scenes were so beautiful. The actor, oh my god, I'm in love with the actor, the main lead. Oh my god, he is so beautiful, and he's such a fine actor, and I don't even know why he's so underrated. Like, he could portray his emotion through his eyes. I am in love with this show, and their chemistry was so good. It's a comfort show for me, and I would give it a 10 out of 100 out of 10. So okay, so on number 1, and it is called Alchemy of Souls. In a fantasy world filled with mages and magic, a young mage who cannot perform magic meets an assassin in a maid's body. Though her soul is trapped powerless in another body, the assassin takes the young mage on as a student. Suspense, action, cinematography, acting, plot, everything was 10 out of 10. I just love the chemistry of Jungkook and Mudoki because... Okay, so spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this show, then skip this part. Okay, so after first season, I was very skeptical because I just couldn't imagine Jungkook without Mudoki. Like, I just didn't want him to be with another actress, if you know what I mean. And yeah, but I was really surprised because I really loved the actress in second season as well, and I loved their chemistry as well. And like, she was so cute. I loved watching them too. Like, and I loved Jungkook in second season because he was so different in second season, and I really loved him. These were my top 20 favorite K-dramas. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope there is something that you found here that you were looking for. And yeah, I'm gonna see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye, take care, love you.
We used to have each other's playlists. No, used to be each other's best friends.